engagement team. My colleague Eloise, who is the Court SA Online Services and Practitioner Engagement Manager, is unable to join us today. So before we begin, I'll just explain a couple of things. I will be using the Court SA development environment. This is the same environment the config team are working in. So there may be some technical hiccups, and the version you get with when Court SA launches might be slightly different. This is the second presentation I've done via WebEx, so please bear with me. There are a lot of us in this session, so I would appreciate if you could please mute your mic unless you are speaking. And if you have a question or comment, please write it in the chat window to the side of the screen, and I'll see it and respond. So I'll send out a survey after this session to get your feedback and see where we can improve. If after the session you have any questions that you would like answered, please register for the question and answer session or email us with the questions. This session is about the Court SA Help Centre, so I'm going to talk to you about what has been done to make Court SA accessible and user-friendly, and give you an overview of what you'll find in the Help Centre and provide you with some practical examples of when and how you might use the Court SA Help Centre. To start, I'm going to provide you with some background as to what has been done to make Court SA accessible and user-friendly. I'll talk for a few minutes to set the scene, and then I'll start sharing my screen with you, so just hang in there, it's not going to be long. The content has been developed based on the needs identified in user testing of Court SA and data taken from CCMS, which is our current case management system, and that's on the most lodged type of cases. I'll just mute that, sorry. So we've tried to make the language as accessible and as possible by using plain English throughout Court SA. We've focused on writing using the active voice, avoiding legal jargon, and aiming everything we write for a year 3 or 4, so roughly about age 9 reading level. We've run the content we wrote through Readable, a readability tool, to check that it is easy to read and understand. And you will see in a moment that we've tried to structure content to make it easy for the user to find what they need by using headings, subheadings, short, simple sentences, paragraphs, bullet points, and allowing lots of white space. Where applicable, the pages have similar headings and layouts. And we have tried to create precise hyperlinks and place them carefully so that they are helpful to court users and make calls to action prominent on the pages. We've user-tested structure and content with the legal profession and court users and have had positive feedback in relation to accessibility and usability. We've tried to think about the user's journey when developing Court SA, the forms and notifications. So I'll just share my screen with you now. So you can see Court SA, the development site now. This is the main page. So the homepage has been designed to ask you a series of questions to help you identify the right case to start and the correct form to use. So the first question is, what would you like to do? Under this option, there are a number of options. So start a new case, view my case, lodge a document, request access to a case, request share of service, search for a probate grant, request a copy of record, find out how to lodge defence, and I need help. So if you press I need help, it's going to take you to the Help Centre straight away. But in this case, we'll click on Start a New Case. So if you want to start a new case, it asks you, do you know what type of case you want to start? If you do know what case you want to start, you can click Yes and go straight to the form that you would like to fill in. But if it's your first time using Court SA and you're not quite sure which case you want to start, there is a list on this page of the most common types of cases you can start. So here it's got an appeal of probationary or provisional licence disqualification, and it's got when to use the form and how to do it. So if you click on this blue link, it'll take you straight to the form. It's the same for the most common lodged documents, so say a contract dispute, debt recovery dispute, fencing dispute. If the type of case that you want to start is not in this list, you can click here to see more. And this will take you to a full list of all the types of cases that you can start in Court SA, and it explains how to start the case, as you'll see. So going back to the home page, it basically identifies for you the right case to start and the correct form to use. Say we know what type of case we want to start now, and it's a claim. So we'll click on claim here, and then it's got in this blue instruction box, instructions on when to use the form, what you need, if you need any supporting documents, the cost, it'll take you to the fees page, and what happens after you submit the form. So these blue instructions are on every form within Court SA, and this green call to action button, lodge a claim, when you click on that, it'll take you to the claim form. And on every form, it explains that what the form is. So this is an online version of Form 1, 1A, 1B or 1C claim. So they're the prescribed forms. And there's an optional upload of prescribed forms 1S, 1AS, 1BS or 1CS. So it'll take you through and ask you a series of questions. I'm not going to go through the whole form today, but I'm just going to show you where the help text is. So if you click you're not a lawyer, then it'll give, obviously you are all lawyers, but if a person was to click on that, it would say that the person should go and get legal advice. So say you click on, are you a lawyer? Yes. Do you have a practitioner code? Yes. It'll ask you for that. So now the next question is about pre-action steps. So have you given a final notice of claim or letter of demand to the respondent? If you say no, you'll see this yellow box that appears. Now, this basically gives some information on pre-action steps, and so there's a whole heap of information there to guide you as to what needs to be done and what happens if you don't follow the pre-action steps. So as you can see, the Court SA forms have help text on them, which helps people to comply with the rules. So Court SA sends notifications to parties on a case, and these notifications link back to the Help Centre. The Help Centre within Court SA can be located by clicking on it on the black ribbon here, Help Centre. It'll ask me if I want to leave. Yep. So it has a left-hand navigation, which you can see here, and there is a site map to assist you in locating information. So the site map can be located by clicking here. And this site map explains to you everything that is in the Help Centre. So it has the main heading, the subheadings, and an explanation under what is in each page. So just going back to the help overview. So unfortunately, due to limitations with the system, there is no search function available in the Help Centre, but you can use Control F to find and locate whatever you need. The Help Centre has been broken down into steps in a case, similar to the rules. So the information in the Help Centre has been developed based on our data of the most common lodgements and feedback we've received in usability testing. A great place to start is this help overview page. So it gives you an overview of what you can do in Court SA. So it's got in there how to register and log in, how to start a case. It links you to pages where there is further information, explains about accessing your case, defending a case, receiving notifications, lodging a document, and so on. There are also bite-sized videos. So if you keep scrolling down, you'll see there are videos which explain how to do all of these actions. So starting a case, requesting case access, lodging a defence. I urge you to have a look at those videos because they really step you through the process quite simply so you can understand how to do the lodgement. So I'll just also point out, so most of the main headings are in blue. The links will be in blue as usual. And There are videos on most pages you'll find. So I'll just take you through some exercises now to show you how easy it is to find what you need in QuadSA. So the first heading is getting set up in your account. So this has information on different types of accounts and how to create them. So it talks about individual accounts, law firm accounts. So let's say that you're forgetful like me and you need to reset your password. Where would you go in this list? Well, there's a subheading here which says resetting your password. And if you go to this page, it explains to you in steps how to reset your forgotten password. There is also a helpful video there. There's also information on how to change your existing password. So let's say you want to start a fencing dispute, but you don't know how to do this using QuadSA. You would click on starting a case. If you Control F this page and search the word fencing, it'll take you to the section in the table which basically explains that a fencing dispute is an originating application and a claim can be made where, so it explains when the claim can be made. And then in the following column, it takes you to the Originating Application Fencing Act. If you are logged in, you can click on the blue link and it'll just take you straight to the form. But if you're not logged in, you will need to log in to get to the form. So just going back there to Fencing Act. So here, once QuadSA goes live, there's a blue link here, that will take you to further information on fencing disputes. So if you click on that, it'll take you to a whole page which explains when you can lodge it, what you need, the cost, what you need to do before you begin. Sorry, there's someone with a mic that's not muted. Could you please mute your mic? And then there's steps on how to lodge the fencing dispute. So if you'd like, you can click Lodge an Originating Application Fences Act here, and it'll take you to the form. There's also information on what happens next, as you'll see. So say you wanted to request case access. How would you do this? So there's a tab here which says accessing your case. This has steps on how you can make a request for case access. You'll need to make a request for case access if you are a practitioner representing a party or a barrister representing a party. So any case that you would like to do an action on that's not an initiating lodgement, you'll need to request case access. I'm going to see if I can make that. I'll just mute the mics again. Thank you. Okay, so we'll go to the Hearings tab here. So say you want to view scheduled or past hearings. This explains how you can do that. If you want to request assistance for a hearing, so you've been notified of the hearing day and your client needs an interpreter, there are steps on how you can request this through the portal. There is also the ability to request an adjournment by consent. So how about if your client comes to you with a claim that's been served on them? So this is the claim that you would be provided by your client. And on here it has a warning to the respondent. And this warning, it basically says, for instructions on how to file a notice of acting and/or defence and to obtain access to the file, visit, and it has this website link. So that will take people to this page, which is about defending a civil claim. And this explains what to do if the person accepts the applicant's claim, if they, what happens if they don't take action, and so on. So this page has a whole heap of information. I think what you'll find useful is it explains how to lodge a defence to a claim. So you'll need to request case access, and then following that, you can actually lodge the defence form through the actions button. So under the lodging heading here, you'll find information on how to lodge prescribed forms, other documents, supporting documents. I'll just go to, as well as amended documents, and you'll be able to search for documents within this. So I think this page is going to be one of the most frequently used pages by solicitors because it lists all of the prescribed forms and it lists how to lodge them using Court SA, the Court SA form, and it talks about the steps of how to lodge it. So, for example, if it's a claim, you will go to the claim, complete the smart form and lodge it if it's just a simple statement of claim. But if you'd like to upload the particulars, then you'd go to claim, upload 1S and lodge it. So this again is searchable by going to Control F. So say you want to lodge an affidavit. Sorry, a little bit slow. So say it's a Form 12 affidavit, that's an upload, and you'll need to go to My Cases, view your case, and then click on the Actions button and lodge the affidavit. So you'll need to upload the Form 12 and lodge it. So say you need to lodge an interlocutory application, what form would you need to complete and upload to the application? So you can either search this document or you can go through this list and there is interlocutory application. And this basically says you'll need a Form 12 affidavit with your grounds. And it explains how to lodge the interlocutory application right here. So say you'd like to view a document on a case, you just click on this searching and viewing documents, and that explains how you can search and view documents. So if you needed to lodge a cross appeal and wanted some information before you did that, where would you go? Well, you would go to Appealing and Reviews, and there is a page here, cross appealing, cross reviewing, or alternatively contending a judgment of a court or tribunal. And this has a whole heap of information for you on how to lodge, what happens next. So say you have lodged a claim and you want to see the receipt, you would click here on Payments, and this would basically explain to you how to view your receipts. So the steps are right here for you. Say you're the account administrator and you're managing the law firm account and you don't know how to invite a new user, or you don't know how to see how to give users access to a particular case the firm has access to. All you need to do is click on Managing Your Firm, and there's a whole heap of information here to assist you to manage the firm account. So say you want to grant a user of your firm access to a case that someone else in the firm has access to, you just click on here and it's got the steps for you as to how to do that. Also some information there. As you can see, there's a video that'll take you through it if you prefer the video over the words. So we've had quite a few questions about notifications. There's a tab here, Notifications, and this explains where notifications are sent, if you're a lawyer and if you're not a lawyer. And it also explains basically the responsible solicitor, what they'll receive, and it talks about how to update your notification email address. So if you're in a Quarter-Say form and you're filling it in and you're not quite sure what a word means, you can go to the glossary, and the glossary has all of the terms that we think people will have difficulty understanding. So that explains the term and the definition. So say there's a question about what type of party the person is, and it explains whether it's an individual, organisation or regular party. So if you don't know what a regular party is, there's a different definition here: an organisation or agency that regularly lodges proceedings with the courts. A regular party can be selected if the applicant has been given a regular party code. So I'll just keep making my way through. So there's here a tab, things you can't do using Quarter-Say. This is continually being updated. Basically, some things to highlight on this page is if you would like to lodge an amended document, that will need to be done at court services. And if you would like to request transcript in the higher courts, that is done through registry online, but in the magistrates court, you'll need to send an email to the registry. So Quarter-Say doesn't have functionality to be able to request transcript at this stage. So it's worth having a look at this list of prescribed forms and the general list to get an understanding of what you can't do with Quarter-Say. There is a page here, technical help. So this will guide you with any issues you're having with the system. So it explains a little bit about document formats, maximum file size, what happens if you're having a lodgement error. It explains to you, what happens if the internet is down, and about Quarter-Say security. So as you can see, Quarter-Say has been designed as a self-service. It's hoped that you are easily able to find answers to any questions you have using the Quarter-Say Help Centre. If you can't, then please contact Quarter-Say Registry Services. It might be that there is additional content required in the Help Centre, and we'll continue building on what's there. We are interested in your feedback, and a few months after Quarter-Say goes live, we'll do an activity to determine if there is a better way of grouping, categorising and naming content. We'll consider Google Analytics to find out the most visited pages and where people are spending the least and most amount of times. So WebEx sessions are being held on other topics. If you would like a Quarter-Say demonstration or more information on accounts, or you just got a series of questions you want to ask, you can register for other sessions. So does anyone have any questions about what I've shown you in the Help Centre, or how to navigate it, or just any other questions about Quarter-Say while we're here? No? Well, I suggest you have a play with the Help Centre in the practice site. You can get to the practice site by going to the Courts Administration website, clicking on Using Quarter-Say. Then if you click on Community, General News, there is a General News item which basically gives you links to the Get Started module and the practice site. So it's got some tips and tricks for using the practice site. So if you click on that link, you should be able to get access to this site, Training 2, which is the practice site, and you'll need to register and then log in. Any information you put into the training site will be deleted after 2 weeks. So it's really not worth setting up your firm account structure in this training environment. It's just for you to get an idea of how to lodge cases and a bit of an idea of what's in the help centre. Okay, given has anyone got any questions? No. All right. Given that there's no questions, we might close the session. I know it was a bit of a short session, but it was just to give you an overview of the Help Centre and what resources we've got available to you. So if you think of anything after the session that you'd like to ask, feel free to shoot me an email. But I would definitely bookmark the Help Centre so that you can have it from day one, and I would have a look at this lodging prescribed forms page, because it's going to provide you with a lot of assistance in terms of how to lodge the new forms that have been prescribed. Okay, bye for now.